I spent Friday evening in St. Louis addressing about 1,000 people at the Campaign for Liberty. And the young man who runs the Campaign for Liberty, or one of the people running it, and was with me, is a guy named Steve Bierfeld, who's going to be on with us in a couple of minutes. And on Monday morning, I emailed him and I said, because I left at 6 o'clock Saturday morning, how did the rest of the weekend go? And he had an encounter with the TSA, the Transportation Safety Administration, in which they not only wanted to know who he was, who did he work for, how did he get the money that he had on him, and what did he plan on doing with that money. And unbeknownst to the TSA, he had one of these super duper new telephones on him where you just go like that, like you're scratching your chest, and the phone becomes a tape recorder. And about 85 to 90% of his encounter with these folks was recorded. We're going to listen to a little bit of it now, and then I think Steve is going to join us. Okay, let's hear the sound of Steve Bierfeld and the TSA in a windowless room in the St. Louis airport.
What do you do for a living?
Is that relevant, sir?
Yes, it is.
Am I legally required to tell you that?
Well, I'll tell you what. Go kick the plate. You may not be legally required to tell me that, but you will be legally required to tell the police officer that comes to talk to you.
Okay.
I'm just trying to ask some questions to figure out what all this is about so I can get you on your plane. But you want to play smart, and I'm not going to play your game.
How much money is it?
I don't know the exact amount, sir. The card says about $4,700.
$4,700?
Yes, sir.
Why do you have all this money?
I asked her, sir, if am I required by law to answer the question? That's my.
I'm just asking you why you have $4,700.
I understand. That's my question. I don't understand.
Do you want to talk to DEA about it? They'll probably ask.
If they can tell me if I'm required to answer the law question, I'll answer the question. I'm just asking, looking for a simple
question. I just want to know why you have $4,700. That's not an unusual thing. I care if I need $50.
He refused to answer any questions. He don't want to answer. So we're gonna have to take him down to the station and let DEA, FBI, and all those people talk to him.
Every one of them.
So we can do that.
How old are you?
What's your deal, sir?
I'm 25, sir.
Well, you answered that question, didn't you?
That's on my driver's license, sir.
So, I mean, I can count that money. I can find out how much it is. It's right in front of me. So, you know. And I don't know why you have that much money. That's why I want to know.
Yeah, he started this out there when I was trying to get everything cleared so he could make his flight. And I said, okay, we'll go in here. He started playing this game again. I said, I'm done with it. So.
I've been completely cooperative, sir. I'm not playing any games.
You're not cooperative. You're going to answer the question.
I'm simply asking
if I'm
not refusing.
If you have nothing to hide, then you can just tell us what it's for. I mean, it's simple. You're going to have to have proof of why you have that much money anyway for the DEA.
I understand, sir. If I'm required by law, I'll be happy to answer your questions. I don't understand the law.
Are you from this planet? I mean, you understand the question when I'm asking you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, why can't you just answer the question?
Am I required by law to answer?
You know what?
See, man, you acting like a child, man. You acting like you're 5 years old.
I don't understand the law.
You act like a child.
Well, this is confusing to me, so we're just going to take it to the station, and maybe the DEA can find out.
Where am I being taken to?
You're going to the police station.
The police station?
Yeah. Okay. You can't answer any questions. We don't know what's going on.
Am I being forced to go to the police station?
Come on, man. Let's just go to the police station, man.
Am I being taken? Am I free to go?
We're going
to take you.
You were going to the police station. Yes.
Am I free to go?
If you want, whatever you want to call it, we're going to the police station.
Am I?
What's it say in there?
You know, we're not getting into semantics here. We're just going to go to the station. Confusing situation. You're not answering any questions. You're suspicious to me. You're just from your answers. That's why we're going to the station.
Am I being forced to the station, or am I free to go?
You will be if you don't walk out this office.
Yes, you'll be going to the station. You'll be forced.
Okay.
That's fine.
I understand.
You're going to be going to the station.
Now, do we have to put you in handcuffs, or will we have a problem with you walking through this
no, sir.
You're being detained. Yes.
Okay. That's fine, sir. I don't understand the law. I'm happy to go.
Well, we're going to help you understand if you don't.
Steve Bierfeld joins us on the phone. The voice that you heard of the courageous and persistent young lover of liberty saying, tell me if I'm required by law to answer these questions, is Steve Bierfeld, who joins us now. Steve, welcome to Freedom Watch. Steve on with us? Steve, are you here? Steve, welcome to Freedom Watch.
Judge.
Oh, good to hear you. Jerry Salenti is here and John Stossel as well. So what do you think these cops were trying to get out of you when they couldn't tell you whether or not they had the lawful authority to compel you to answer questions about how you had this cash in your carry-on?
Well, the first thing that was going through my head was I have a limited knowledge of the law, was not to say something that would incriminate myself. And in addition to the cash, I was carrying Campaign for Liberty literature, and I was carrying Ron Paul bumper stickers. So my immediate thought was, these guys already know about what I do and what I work. They're probably aware of the MIAC report, which you've covered. Maybe I shouldn't say something right away.
What was your fear about being in St. Louis, Missouri, of all places, being detained by police who would learn that you had Ron Paul bumper stickers, Campaign for Liberty bumper stickers, and in fact were employed by the campaign?
Yeah, there was the report about a month ago where law enforcement in Missouri sent out an email that said that Ron Paul supporters and Campaign for Liberty supporters may be potential militia members or terrorists. So I was stuck in the one place in the country that I probably didn't want to be as a supporter of liberty and the Campaign for Liberty.
And just to, before we open it up to the rest of our guests, just to explain now what you felt the government didn't have the power to force you to explain, what was that cash? How did you get it, and what were you doing with it?
All right, well, I'll tell you, Judge Napolitano, but don't tell Missouri law enforcement on me. I was working for Campaign for Liberty. We were in town for our first regional conference in St. Louis, and the cash was simply book sales, ticket sales, merchandise, T-shirts, and I had it in a box, and I was trying to take it back to Virginia, and that's really all it was. And my main question for law enforcement was simply, sir, am I required by law to answer your question? Please advise me as to my rights.
I don't think it's a surprise that people who attend Campaign for Liberty rallies are more likely to pay in cash than your average American.
All right, because as Bill Sapphire used to say, cash is privacy,
right.
Cash is freedom. But are you surprised that they arrested him because he wasn't free to leave, threatened to bring in the Drug Enforcement Administration, I don't know what they would have to do with it, and the FBI, because he declined to explain to them, because they couldn't tell him what their authority to ask for it was, the origin of that cash?
I mean, it's one step to say you can't fly on this plane. It's a far more evil step to say we are going to use force to detain you. But we never heard what happened when he went to the police station.
Well, he eventually, a plainclothes guy, because I listened to the whole tape, the clip we ran was just about 1 minute and 10 seconds. This goes for 25 minutes. As they're about to take him out of this room and march him through the airport and bring him, quote, downtown to the DIA office, suddenly some plainclothes person appears who identifies himself as an FBI agent, whispers in the ear of these 5 uniformed, armed, badge-wearing guys, and suddenly they say, you're free to go. And he makes the plane. So they never found out the origin of the cash. They never counted the cash. They never took the cash from him, and he made the plane. Are you surprised that the government is doing things like this today?
What did we say?
I mean, look, can we put his picture up on the screen again? Is Steve still back with us?
He looks guilty to me.
He looks like butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Is that the face of a terrorist, that they had to know where that cash came from?
Again, we're turning into what I said, when you have government-controlled capitalism, it's turning more into fascism. And I want to ask you, Judge, was he in his rights to do what he did? Did he have to answer those questions? What were his obligations?
He did not have to answer those questions because the presence of cash, the possession of cash, is not one of the items that automatically eliminates you from getting on the plane. As John Stossel said, it's one thing for them to make sure you don't have a gun or a bomb in your pocket. It's another thing for them to not like a book or not like the papers that you have with